So James, you get to be James this episode, by the way,
Yes.
because the other James isn't here. I got a couple questions for you. This is from Self-Destroyed with an X instead of an O on Instagram. This is Would You Rather Difficulty Impossible. Would you rather wake up at 5 a.m. every day for a year or only eat dog food for a week?
Dog food for a week.
I don't know, man. That might kill you. I would be throwing
Why
up.
would it kill you? It's
I think
just
that's poison. Dog food's like, I'm pretty
poison.
sure, but
You don't have a dog.
no, I've never had a dog.
It's just regular food, but just like kind of grosser.
It's
Not dangerous.
we've never been a dog house. And I was pretty much just kind of scared of them until I was like 18.
No,
I did not grow
it's
up. I did not grow
gross.
up with good dog experiences, unfortunately, but I
Well,
like them now.
1 week you could do it.
I probably could. Would you rather, let's see, would you rather have your dream hair but only have the same clothes to use every day, or be bald and have all clothes you want?
Wait. I had to wear the same clothes every single day.
Yeah, but you have your dream hair. What's
My
your dream
dream
hair?
hair, probably just my hair right now, but just a little bit more like just like enhanced kind of.
Yeah. I think mine's the
Just like
Macklemore haircut. I think I'm just waiting to be successful
oh,
enough to pull it off. Um,
really,
and one
Macklemore?
more.
I think you got more curls than Macklemore.
Oh yeah, I know. But when I'm rich, I'm gonna completely
You're
change my natural hair. I'm just
straighten
gonna
it.
go straight hair all around.
That's a good goal. I like
Yeah.
that.
And would you
But no,
rather
I'm
be?
taking the hair for sure. I'll be like Ben 10 and wear the same outfit every day.
Yeah. Would it have? Would you have like your initials on? Would you have like a hat that says J on it? Be like a
Would you
cartoon.
be like a cartoon character?
Yeah. My
I
goal
was
is to eventually just become a cartoon character just through, force of habit and day-to-day routine. I think it's
honest
doable.
like if you're just wearing your best outfit every day. I mean, there's
Yeah.
this one episode of Ben 10 where like he's like looking, he lost his Omnitrix and he's looking for his Omnitrix and he's going through his dresser. And his dresser he just pulls out five, like 100 things in the same shirt.
Oh my God. I don't remember anything from Ben 10,
It's
unfortunately.
the best show fucking ever.
Ah, I missed it, unfortunately. And I got one more here. Would you rather um, be homeless for 5 years or go to jail for 15?
I'll be homeless for 5 years. I just get through it being an addict and I wouldn't remember
I don't
anything
know,
about
man.
it.
Three hots in a cot. If I do something low level enough, I think I could make friends in
15
jail.
years, Joey. Fucking
15
so
years?
so basically both ways you're just losing time on your life.
Oh, of
And
course. Yeah.
being homeless, it's the same. I mean, obviously in prison it's like probably like you have like some this basic necessities more than being homeless, but like you're losing time and I would just want to lose the minimum amount of time. And the way I would get through those 5 years being homeless is just do lots of terrible
You could you
drugs
you could take
and
up the
not remember anything.
banjo. You could take up the
Play the
banjo. You could have a
banjo.
dog. You could get into some real
Yeah.
good communities. There's probably like a
But then people might try to steal your dog because they think you're a bad
yeah, but that's
dog
life.
owner.
All right, and I got one more here. Would you rather search for a GM that is, up to date with all the modern baseball thoughts, and not do another crony hire where you just kind of let him do his thing for 15 years? Or would you rather just hire a couple guys that like each other and just like good old clean baseball? What would you do?
See, I would hire the guy whose father sold me horses in 1984,
Yeah.
aka Brian Cashman's father, who
I
sold
was
George
going,
Steinbrenner horses. That's the
oh,
real
yeah.
lore. Did you know that's the real
I
lore?
did not know.
That's the
This,
real lore. So
that's
Brian Cashman
amazing.
has a degree in history, and I know that's fraudulent because I have a degree in history.
Yeah, it's not anything.
And he got an internship with the Yankees in the 80s because Steinbrenners are from Ohio,
Yeah.
and Cashman's dad sold them horses in Ohio in the 80s. This is
Wow,
real.
I did not know that.
This is real, and that's how Brian Cashman got his first internship with the Yankees.
Hey, we all got to start somewhere. But that comparison I was making, the man who had to make that decision was Jerry Reinsdorf, and this has been developing for a few weeks. But if you didn't see, Chris Getz was hired as the new general manager of the Chicago White Sox with his friend and personal assistant, lackey, Dayton Moore. Dayton Moore was the head of the Royals for 16 years. He built a title team, probably the last title team that'll ever actively turn away like data analytics. Like that, the ones like the last team that's ever thought of it like, oh, we're gonna string together some hits, so we're gonna pit them where they ain't, and we're gonna win 3-2, and that's how we're gonna do it. Um, Moore was fired because the Royals stunk for like the last 5 years because all the guys who were going to go away from their title core, he was too emotionally attached to to um
The trade.
to trade them. And
Fair enough, honestly.
I mean,
Relax for that forever.
if you're okay with getting fired, it's not a bad deal. I mean, how much longer do you need to be in? You got Kansas City one title. Realistically, that's more than, they're gonna get. But it's just the fact that the White Sox just spent however long just letting a couple of guys that he liked run it. And I think I have a theory that Jerry Reinsdorf just wanted people to stop talking about it and get the memo that like, no, I'm not doing anything with these guys until I die. Fuck you. I have all the money here.
Weird because like the White Sox, like they were pretty reasonable on paper coming into this year, and just everything has gone wrong other than Luis Robert. And that's the thing is, it'd be crazy. Like you told me before the season that Luis Robert would like have the slash line and the volume of production that he has. I'd be like, oh, the White Sox must be a pretty good team, but no, it's just they just
Yeah.
stink top to bottom.
Yeah. Tim Anderson's just regressed to the mean in every way possible. It turns out Andrew Benintendi being your biggest free agent signing ever is a bad idea. He's not that good.
Pool
He's
noodle.
Yeah, pool noodle. Who else they got? Eloy doesn't have. They have like three or four
Been on the
first
IL
basemen
like
and left
twice.
fielders who can't play defense. Good on them for trading Jake Berger. That was at least they got something out of it. But this is just a rudderless organization. Um, and with this hiring, they are saying we are proudly continuing that tradition.
So, like the interesting thing is all they did a big like like for them like a big free agent splash kind of like around the pandemic time when they got Grandal, they got um they got Lance Lynn, right? They extended him.
They got Liam Hendricks
Liam Hendricks. It was and they tried
paying 64 mil for a closer is like perfect.
they
It's just a
extended
perfect
Abreu also for
example.
3 years.
What?
And now he's obviously he's gone now, but
Yeah,
Abreu they extended for 3 years.
yeah,
They
that
were
made sense
doing
at least.
things, and it just fell apart.
But I don't really want to. I don't want to worry about that because if you're a player on the Chicago White Sox, you have a more pressing concern with Dayton Moore in the building. As you see, Dayton Moore has a very particular fixation. I'm going to read
Mm.
this headline here from March 13th, 2018. For Royals GM Dayton Moore, anti-porn message worth the scorn and scientific scrutiny. This is a Bob Nightingale classic. It starts as such. If you want to bring a copy of Hustler magazine to the Kansas City Royals clubhouse, Dayton Moore can't stop you. If you casually drop F-bombs in your everyday conversation, keep on talking. If you hit the nightclub until 2 every morning and are still able to perform acts of baseball greatness, God bless you. Moore, the Royals' 51-year-old GM, won't judge his employees on their hobbies, but will let his spirituality guide his everyday life, despite working in an industry notorious for bawdy and, by some standards, immoral behavior. And he's even willing to put himself at odds with those who believe a workplace should be free of moralizing. Um, Says here he led a Okay, Moore exposed the Royals organization to criticism last week when they became the first major sports franchise to conduct an anti-pornography seminar led by the nonprofit organization Fight the New Drug. So right off the
Crazy
bat,
name for that.
right off
I
the bat,
remember this saga. I remember this from 2018. This
this
is
is
totally coming back to me.
this is a special talent right here. This is, I mean, you win a World Series there. You should be royalty for the royal, no pun intended, for the rest of your life. And you're really gonna stick on porn to a bunch of to a bunch of baseball players, to a bunch of just shaved, just some crazy people. What are you doing here?
It's a crazy hill to die on. Like, imagine putting that seminar together to a
Oh
bunch
yeah.
of adults. I can't.
Yeah, now lest you think this is just him, power grabbing, right? Or just trying to exert control. No, he means this to his core. He stressed to his players that he not only believes that pornography is the root of evil, but that it can also become a detriment to a player's career and destroy his personal life. I'm glad we have a GM who is talking about the benefits of semen retention on a public sphere.
See, there might be a little science to that, right? You're not supposed to
Well,
beat off before a boxing fight. You need the testosterone.
I mean, yeah, but baseball is definitely it's like the opposite type of
No, but
sport.
have you ever like I mean, like this is real, I swear. I try not to I do not masturbate before I go on days like I'm gonna go to the gym because it will make my
All right,
like
see,
it's
we're gonna
real. It
we're
is somewhat like it is somewhat real. Like your testosterone will be lower and you won't be able to lift as much. Like you will feel weaker.
yeah, yeah.
Like it is a real thing about like, but especially for like boxers because you really need to be really intense. Like they won't have sex. They will not have sex like before like a week before a fight.
I did not know that.
No, that's a real thing. That's a real
Wow,
like MMA fighters. They won't have sex like for a week before a fight.
I think they might just be scared of women. Let's see.
Maybe the women are scared of them.
Fight the New Drug has done thousands of hours of research, and there's scientific evidence what pornography does to the brain, and rewiring the brain. You are getting brainwashed by this stuff. It's no different than drugs or alcohol. You start drinking too early or start smoking marijuana, your brain craves it. That's true. That's true.
You can be addicted to anything though.
Yeah, I like. I think it. I like being addicted to caffeine a little bit. That's fun.
See, my mom is addicted to caffeine, and that's like seems like the ultimate hell. Like,
Yeah,
imagine just I can't imagine getting a headache just from not having caffeine. Like getting withdrawal from caffeine sounds awful.
yeah. I love having lunch at like having like a C4 before work and every morning just having the worst poop anyone's ever had. This is going to be the first 18 and
Coffee is
up
supposed to like
episode.
help with
This
that
is
though.
this is fourth true outcomes like Nick at Night sort of offshoot here.
Yeah,
When Gordon's not here.
but like
Uh
so, Dayton Moore is a man of God. Okay,
he is a man of
somewhat
God.
foolishly because everyone knows that God is a Yankees fan.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Um
what he thinks he's gonna. I mean, maybe the 2015 Royals World Championship was an act of God.
I think it was. I think that's absolutely true. It says here, voluminous research counters the notion that pornography is somehow a public health rather than a First Amendment issue. Man, we gotta get rid of these amendments, man. We gotta stop. We gotta stop having people bring them up in arguments. It's
Wow, I mean,
annoying.
there's a lot of ways you could take that because there's a lot of amendments.
I think you if you are calling something an issue related to an amendment, you have to prove that you're not just being annoying. Because some
Oh,
people
okay,
are
so
just
you're.
really annoying and do that. Like, oh, you don't want my First Amendment right to not like tell my employees to not whack off. Like, I will never. I don't get it.
I mean,
Um,
got like the 14th Amendment. It's pretty important.
but yeah, I don't think that was gonna help. That was ever gonna help get them back in the. Oh, here we go. The porn thing is a big deal, says Royals left fielder Alex Gordon, who has been with the organization since
No,
2005. And with
not
the
Alex
outlet to
Gordon.
social media and everything, people don't realize how much it affects people. I think the best way to do it is talk about it and get it out there. He's got these guys buying in. He's
Alex Gordon bought in. What if
Says
this
New
is the new
Royals first
marketing
baseman Lucas
efficiency?
Duda. Everybody has their different
No.
views, but I think if you respect that boundary, everything is fine. For me, pornography is the last thing I'm probably going to watch before I go play baseball. I've got enough stuff to
Hey,
handle. I
watch it
think his
after
message sets a good
baseball.
tone in there. Um, among the half dozen Royals surveyed, none expressed resentment of the anti-porn workshop, nor the electronic signs in their clubhouse informing players they will have a private viewing of Paul, Apostle of Christ, at 6 p.m. on Wednesday.
There's no way.
Um,
No.
we didn't have
That's
guys
crazy.
protesting or walking out or anything like that. Morris said, "Yeah, because you're their crazy boss. They're not gonna quit their Major League Baseball job. You're just
They're
holding
probably
these
all
people
very
hostage."
like conservative religious, like
That is
whether or not
true.
they're Latin or not. Like,
I mean, baseball players. What do you, if only baseball players voted in 2020? What percent of the
oh
popular
dude.
vote does Trump
Oh,
get? Like
it would
like
just be so
75, eighty
far.
percent
It's just all I feel like it's a lot of athletes,
It's a
like,
lot of, yeah.
or at least white athletes, and we don't really have that many black athletes.
Oh, but lest you think this is political, Moore does say, I'm not into politics. I'm not into what positions people hold. We're about developing people. And this information has to be presented to our young men who are ultimately going to be husbands and fathers. How do you know that, man? What if they're not? What if they don't want to be a husband or a father?
I mean,
That's
come on. I mean, they're going to be
okay.
husbands
That's,
and fathers.
maybe,
Like,
maybe,
we don't need to.
but hey, he's
You know what
saying he doesn't want to moralize people. And then he's saying, all right, let's see.
the craziest MAGA uh baseball player that you would not expect is Kyle Higashioka.
Yeah, no, he's
What do you think about that? It's just like okay, like why? How did we
it
get
makes
here?
sense. There's definitely a type of MAGA guy like that where it's like he's just like keeps it completely under the surface. So
Mm-hmm.
I could imagine that. Also, he just kind of like he just kind of has the look. I don't know.
Well, because why? Because you look like Kurt Suzuki. Is that why?
No, no, he
Wow,
just
Joey,
has
that
like
was kind of
just has the
racist.
look of a baseball player who just kind of is just sort of humming up there all the time,
Remember Kurt
Just
Suzuki like
monkey.
going to the White House though?
Yeah, he looked
He
very
was
cool. He looked
he was
really
so
cool in those
happy. He was
hats.
so happy to meet Donald Trump.
I mean, hell, I think I could have a heart to heart with him, and I could change his mind about a lot of things.
Did not work
I
with
think I
Kevin.
could say, I think I could say, if it comes from the earth, it's okay to smoke it, and then I think he would say that.
No.
Yeah, but he talks about information and wanting to convey it.
What do you smoke that's not from the earth?
I don't know. I don't. If it's not from the earth, then it's not okay to smoke. But if it's from the earth, it's okay.
I realize that was a stupid
That's what.
question.
That's what.
As
That's
I
what.
asked the question, I can think of many
Yeah, that's
things
what
to smoke
that's
that are
what
not
Jesus said in the
natural.
Bible, famously. In the Bible,
Wow, the
yeah,
Bible.
yeah, yeah. From this is from Dayton Moore on the use of analytics for the any White Sox fans who are listening to this,
Is this new?
James, and hoping for some good stuff. I appreciate and respect and admire and covet the data and information that is out there. Always have. But I learned the game through a different way. I learned it through more of a pure evaluation, understanding the makeup of players, what motivates them, what drives them to be successful. Those things will never change. You have to understand the heart and desire of a player and what their habits are like, what their routine consists of, because that is a predictor of future success. And this is the mindset that got him fired from the Royals. And this is what the White Sox have decided they are going to go with in the future.
Seems like the scene from Moneyball.
Yeah,
That's rough.
it's yeah, that's yeah. I heard they might be moving to Nashville in about 6 years. So, you know,
That'd be so
the
stupid.
White Sox can become the official team of bachelorette parties like they were always
Oh,
designed to.
did you hear about little pivot? Brian
Yeah.
Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner getting an outside review of their baseball operations department.
Yeah, that's very good stuff. I'm really happy about that.
Wonder what will come of that. You know,
Um, hopefully some like driveline work because the a
I feel
lot
like
of
they
teams,
do that with the pitching
Dodgers,
though already.
Mookie said specifically that working with driveline helped him increase his bat speed like immediately, and you're seeing it from these guys, and it's that
Mm.
sort of technology that could help players age better into the future.
I agree. I mean, it feels like Driveline's kind of turning into like a buzzword though, to just like
But I
Driveline.
mean, there's a
I mean,
reason it
yeah, because the reason
keeps
is working.
working. Bat speed's the most
Um,
important thing.
little rapid fire Yankees news. Jasson Dominguez first at bat in the major leagues hits a home run off Justin Verlander.
That was cool. I like
Tell
that.
me let me tell you my reaction and I'll ask for your reaction because I literally when it happened, I was watching, I said, "Oh my god, oh my god, he just hit a home run off Justin fucking Verlander."
I
It
was
was
uh
crazy.
I was on 495, but I saw you text and I was like, either Aaron Judge or Jason Dominguez just hit a home run. And I was right. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
What I also
could have been
noticed that
Aaron Judge. It's a good guess.
what I also noticed that game is Dusty Baker's got his best catcher backing up and DHing most of the time,
Hmm.
letting Martin Maldonado play out, even though he's just not good at all. And Chas McCormick, one of their best hitters, one of the best center, has a higher OPS this year than Julio. He's hitting him eighth, and he pinch hit for him in the ninth with Clay Holmes on the mound for John Singleton, who isn't really anybody. He's a first baseman, and you just took your center fielder out of the game for a lefty righty. This is the same manager that the Astros retained while letting James Click leave in the offseason. To be fair, I don't know how much more Click could have done with them. Like, at what point do you just have to like move on with your life and call it a success? But the Astros' mismanagement of their resources stemming from Baker might really lead to some problems for them.
So I understand the take, and I've seen Astros fans online like being very angry at Dusty and wanting him fired. He just won the World Series. I can't get too into it. Like I can't bring myself to really even just like think too hard about this. Like you just won the World Series. Like how bad could it really be? You know what I mean?
I mean, he could be pinch hitting their like third best hitter for their worst. He's a lefty righty. He's also starting Mauricio Dubon, who is basically the Astros IKF over Clay Holmes. Or not over Clay Holmes, over Chas McCormick. Still starting Maldonado.
Jazz is having a crazy year
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool how his swing looks exactly like Jose Altuve's. I think that's pretty neat. He had to have shown that to him, right? There's no way.
Yeah, it's the scissor kick. The
Yeah, he's
scissor
just
kick.
hitting those
It's
line
a
drive.
it's a big Venezuelan style. Honestly, it's a Miguel Cabrera has it. It's when you put your back leg kind of kicks out, but somehow you don't lose your balance or any of your driving force. And I when I played baseball, I literally tried to do a scissor kick. It's like kind of like Clint Frazier would
Yeah,
do it. It's really hard and like it's really hard to do if it doesn't come naturally to you. It
I
looks
love
pretty cool, the
I
scissor
love it
kick.
when whatever Albies is doing, I'm a fan of that. I
Okay, I
think,
have to watch all these again and see what you're
yeah,
talking about, but
yeah,
yeah,
he's got,
Altuve has that scissor kick. Miguel Cabrera is like probably the most famous example of that scissor kick. I don't get the physics of it, to be honest. I don't get it because like, how do you pivot when you scissor kick? But like, obviously Miguel Cabrera and Jose Altuve are really good and
yeah.
they do it. So I don't know.
I don't know. I could never handle that much motion in a swing.
Yeah,
When I started playing again this year, I just modeled it off of Matt Carpenter.
I
Just
mean, when
lean
you're
back.
bad, then you
What?
gotta limit motion.
Yeah,
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 like you have to be really good to like do have a lot of moving parts in your swing. I think
yeah,
that's kind of how it works.
yeah. No, dumb it down. That's how you do it.
Hmm.
Um, Speaking of the Astros and their division, it's probably the most interesting race to close out this season.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Fangraphs as of today, September 3rd, 2023. The Astros are out in the lead with the odds of 47% from Fangraphs, although they are a half game back of the Mariners. If they could take the lead tonight with a win. Um, I'm not sure if that the
I
math
think
adds.
the Mariners, did you say the Mariners, I think, are ahead.
The Mariners are ahead just barely. It's 77-59 to 77-60. So they're a half game up. So they could tie it with a win tonight. The Rangers have just free fallen down to 17% odds to win the division, 3% to win the World Series. This still gives the Astros a 13% chance, which makes sense to me. I don't really think you can discount them that much.
I will never discount them. They are the
No.
evil force that
Even
will
though
break my heart and make me upset by winning.
I could see a scenario where 3 years from now, James Click leaving becomes sort of the end of their peak. I still think they're going to be very, very good. That top four in the lineup is terrifying. I think Jordan's going to be a Hall of Famer someday.
Really?
I
Yeah,
think
so
so. I think
he has a lot to
Ortiz, I
prove.
mean, like you think of Ortiz, right? And how terrifying he is
This is
in your
the
head when you
comp,
imagine him.
yes.
And Jordan has been better than him consistently since he came into the league.
He's gonna have to stay healthy.
He's
He's
of
been
course
injured.
that's everybody. But
He's young, pretty young. He has definitely he's like a way too early to call kind of
yeah,
guy, for sure. But like he's having the peak of a Hall of Famer, of course, right now. He's
yeah,
in the middle of it. But he needs you gotta get back in like 3 years, and
yeah,
his WAR is gonna be low because he's a DH, so he's really gonna have to get those offensive numbers in terms of longevity,
yeah.
I think. Kind of
I
based on the Hall of Fame a little bit is Aaron Judge, third fastest player by games played to 250 home runs.
that
I have
was
a
pretty
question for
cool.
you.
Yeah.
Give me a number of how many home runs Aaron Judge ends up with, and give me a yes or no on it. Say as of right now, do you believe Aaron Judge will be in the Hall of Fame going forward?
Well, if we're talking about retiring today,
No,
no, he
not
wouldn't even be
retiring
on the
today.
ballot. But
Not retiring today.
if we're just projecting out into the
You're
future,
just predicting. You're just guessing if at the end of the
I
day, when
think
it's
so.
all said and done.
Yes, I think so. I think he'll end his career with like a Ralph Kiner style peak.
Mm.
Um, it's going to
Can
be
you give me a
shorter
number
than
though?
the average.
How many
Ralph
home
Kiner
runs?
played 10 years, and I think he hit at least 35 homers in all of them. He was one of the most absurd, like all peak, no longevity players ever. He only played 10 years in the Hall of Fame, and he only played 10 years in the league, and he's still in the Hall of Fame. So yeah, I would say so. And for career home runs, he had is it 250?
251.
251?
He hit one last night.
Oh yeah. Um, shit, I don't know, like 450, 500?
Yeah. I would say my realistic guess is in between like around the 450 mark, but there's definitely a path to 500. And I'm gonna agree. I think you run the simulation 100 times, 99 times, Aaron Judge ends up in the Hall of Fame. Because the only way Aaron Judge is not going to be in the Hall of Fame is if he has a catastrophic injury, which makes his play very poor
Yeah.
for the next few years. Like he's going to be there. He's going to be the fastest ever to 300 to 350 by games played. If he stays healthy, he might hit 60 home runs next year again, and
Yeah.
that'll well clear 300, and then we're racking up milestones. So yeah,
I
40
have
40
a
career WAR already.
yeah, it's crazy. I have another question. Um Actually, I'll just ask you the same instead of home runs, just seasons played and really make the Hall of Fame Shohei Ohtani, because this is his
Oh, okay.
second Tommy John. This is it's sad. It's sad because
It
we
is
might
sad.
have seen the end of him doing this thing he's done for the past 3 years, but
He also stopped hitting home runs. Like he hasn't hit a home run in like over 2 weeks.
I don't know why he's still playing even. If he's
Yeah.
got this UCL injury, the Angels just waved the white flag like I've never seen before. Just put 5 players on waivers, 3 of whom they traded for a month earlier, and one of whom they traded their best prospect for. They are just an all-time disaster in talent management. They I'm sorry. I'm not going to say I feel sorry for Angels fans because they're all from like Orange County, and they all have a bunch of boats, and they don't really care about baseball, and they don't really exist actually. The Angels could probably go away like tomorrow, and fewer people would be upset than if the
Man, I think
A's
that's
went
kind of a
away.
bad take. I don't know. I think there's a lot of Angels fans.
You know what?
I think there's a lot of Angels
I
fans.
haven't met any of them because they won't show their
Because you
face
live
to
in
me.
Maryland.
Because if I see any of them, I'm I'm gonna make fun of them, and that's a big deterrent.
Yeah, Otani hasn't hit a home run in forever, it feels like. And the 60 home run plus dream is
Yeah,
completely dead.
it's over. I
Yeah.
just hope he can play the field somewhere and keep hitting.
Oh, he'll definitely DH next year.
Yeah,
I think he's. I'm gonna call it right now. On September 3rd, Shohei Ohtani will sign a 12-year, $500 million deal with the San Francisco Giants.
I believe that will put a bow on episode 7 here of Fourth True Outcome. As I am saying this, James is staring blankly into the distance. He is frozen.
I think I'm back.
Uh,
No,
yeah, I saw the fear in his eye, and it was it was unsettling.
it's
But
Jover. I can't.
but
My
yeah,
internet will not
it's
cooperate.
Jover. It's over.